Okay, so now we have home office, branch, and agency accounting. First, we have to distinguish a branch from an agency. So we have now the items that will distinguish a branch from an agency. New sales outlets may be organized as sales agencies or branches. A sales agency is not a self-contained business, but rather acts only on behalf of the home office. On the other hand, a branch is a self-contained business which acts independently but within the bounds of company policy and subject to the control of the home office. So I believe you are familiar with a branch. Now, we have the following to distinguish these two. One, an agency displays merchandise and takes customers' order but does not carry stock of merchandise to fill customers' orders. In other words, only to take the order of the customers, but this will be delivered by the home office. On the other hand, the branch carries stock of merchandise used to fill customers' orders or provide services similar to those provided by the home office. Second, an agency in an agency, customers' orders are not sent to the home office for approval of certain credit customers. Remit payment directly to the home office. So in other words, customers' orders are sent to the home office, are sent to the home office for approval. And the customers will remit directly to the home office. In a branch, grants credit in accordance with the company's policies, makes normal warranties, fill customers' orders, and makes collections on sales. Likewise, sales holds revolving cash fund provided by the home office that is replenished when depleted, not other cash funds are held. So in other words, an agency merely holds a fund just like a petty cash fund that when it's running out of balance, then the home office will replenish. So in other words, there is a minimum amount that will be maintained by the agency. While a branch has its own assets and liabilities and generates its own revenues and incurs its own expenses, makes periodic remittances. So for that matter, makes periodic remittances. So it remits to the home office subject to company policy. Now, not in a case of an agency, not a separate accounting entity. The only accounting records maintained are cash receipts and cash disbursement books, necessarily to account for the revolving fund. The main office maintains records of sales made through the agency and the expenses it incurs, while a branch, a separate accounting entity for internal reporting. It maintains its own complete set of accounting records. For external reporting, the branch financial statements are combined with the home office financial statements. So take note that a branch is really a separate entity that is created to operate just like a home office. So you are aware of what are the branches that we have in the city, especially with regards to banks. You will notice that we have a bank, for example, Bank X. It has an extension or a branch, or we have a bank SM City, we have another one in Haro, another one in La Paz, another one in Iloilo City. So most of these are branches, but among them, there is really the home office. Now, accounting for an agency, since an agency does not maintain its own separate accounting books, all of its transactions are recorded in the books of the home office. The agency maintains a simple record such as a logbook to record its cash receipts and disbursements, similarly to a petty cash system. Now, I believe you are still aware of the operations of the petty cash system. When you have, depending what method is used, is it the impress system or the fluctuating system? So, the entries that will be involved in the operations and the maintenance of the petty cash fund will depend upon the system used. In order to identify the transactions of the agency from other transactions, the home office may set up specific account codes and account titles for the agency, especially if there are several agencies. For example, the revolving fund of a certain uh, may be an account title cash. So revolving fund of the home office in connection with an agency. So you see cash agency 1 and designated a code similar to the following 101 to 103, where the first digit refers to assets, the second digit and the third digit refer to the agency 01, and the fourth digit, if there is one there, would refer to cash, and the last two digits refer to revolving fund. So for that purpose, in other words, there are control numbers that will be maintained by the home office. Now let's go to the accounting for the transactions of the agency. January 1, receipt of revolving fund from the home office. So we have now the agency transactions in the books of the home office. The entry is to debit cash for agency number 1 and credit to cash on hand. In other words, the home office will maintain entries for the agency. On January 131, orders sent by agency to the home office. So the home office now will debit accounts receivable and credit sales of agency 1, debit cost of sales of agency 1, and to credit inventory. Collection by home office of agency sales, debit to cash on hand, and to credit accounts receivable, to the extent that the company uses the cash on hand account and not the cash in bank. Now, on January 1 to 31, the disbursements from the revolving fund, no entry is made by the home office until the time that the agency will request for replenishment of the depleted fund. So on January 31, replenishment from the revolving fund or replenishment of revolving fund. So the entry of the home office is to debit various expenses of agency 1 and to credit cash on hand. In other words, the fund of the agency will be replenished. This time, we have the amount of 50. So, take note that the home office does not record the expenses of the agency not until the time that there is a replenishment. Okay? While in the books of the agency, actually, no entries are made. So usually, in practice, the agency will merely fill up petty cash vouchers, noting the date, the item paid or the expense paid, and the amount involved, signed by the petty cashier. So that petty cash voucher will be kept in the petty cash box. So there's no entry involved by the agency, but it will merely be the keeping of this petty cash vouchers. So by the time replenishment comes, this will be recorded by the home office. So we have now four, again, for the replenishment of the revolving fund, we debit to expenses accounts and to credit cash on hand. Then for uh, January 31, replenishment again of the revolving fund. Amo na ng entry mo. And to determine the profit attributable to the agency, the following closing entry shall be made. So the home office now will debit to sales as it was a credit. Then we credit to cost of sales to close, and then close various expenses, and the balancing figure of 30, you credit to income summary of agency number 1. So on the books of the agency, no entries are made except for the petty cash vouchers that will be kept in the petty cash box. Second, we have the accounting for branch operations. The accounting for branch operations. So we now have a branch is accounted for as a separate business unit, but subject to the control of the home office. The home office determines the degree of self-management. Okay? Determines the degree of self-management exercised by the branch. The branch maintains its own records and prepares its own financial statements. However, the branch financial statements are combined with the home office financial statements when preparing general purpose financial statements. Combined financial statements are prepared by adding together similar items of assets, liabilities, income, and expenses, and eliminating reciprocal accounts. So, similar to our business combinations, when we have to eliminate the reciprocal accounts. Reciprocal